Bahamas employs over 500 people. Of the 500, how many of them do you think are Bahamian?
About 3/4.
Okay.
I will say 80%.
I would say all.
All?
I would say about 98%.
98%.
Yes.
I was going about 80%, so but 98 sounds better.
I'd say 80%.
I think about 95% of them are Bahamian, yes.
What if I told you 99%?
99% of the people is Bahamian?
99%.
That's true?
Excellent.
Yeah? So Cable Bahamas is entirely for the Bahamian people.
That is correct. Cable Bahamas is widely represented by Bahamians.
Well, now you know.
The drama at Bahamar continues as CCA workers are locked out. This as political leaders give their take on the ordeal. BTC employees may be given a little more time before layoffs, plus murder number 74 reported off East Street. We've got those stories and more tonight. I'm Kyle Joaquin, and NB12 starts right now. Topping news tonight, as the fate of thousands of Bahamar workers hangs in the balance, drama unfolded at the Cable Beach property this morning as Chinese and Bahamian workers employed by China Construction America were barred from the building. Workers say the multi-billion-dollar resort was the last straw for many unemployed Bahamians and warn the Christie administration could have a riot on its hands if government and Bahamar officials don't get it right. This latest development comes as Bahamar filed a claim in the English High Court against China Construction America's parent company. Bonik Toot reports.
One day after scores of Bahamar workers were sent packing, chaos erupted at the Cable Beach development this morning as employees of China Construction America showed up only to discover they had been locked out. One employee says they are confused and warned that government could be faced with a riot if this matter is not addressed. It all started this morning with this voice message from a woman who identified herself as a CCA worker.
Hello, good morning. I'm calling from Bahamar. I work for CCA and we getting evicted from Bahamar officials. They have everybody putting us out of the hotel because they under bankruptcy. So could some news reporter come down here at Bahamar, please?
Then came this video which surfaced online.
Hey, don't touch me. Good. This nigga here troubling him, you know. He's troubling him, man. Come on, man. This nigga outside. He outside, man.
I'm outside.
He outside.
He outside. That's right.
Move, man. He outside, man. Outside, man.
The video shows Chinese workers being denied access to the office building on Cable Beach and shouting, "Don't touch me." Bahamian workers could be heard coming to their defense and telling security officers that the drama was unnecessary. When MB12 arrived at the property this morning, we met these frustrated CCA workers who were also denied access. Worker Keo Smith says they weren't even allowed to retrieve their tools.
No one could go in this place until they do the court issue unless they get the money. They tell us they fumigating the building.
That's what they told you
Did
today?
you ever buy that?
From yesterday, we could see that to fumigate the building, they need helicopters to drop the big canvas over this building. We can see that we are the insects that they fumigate to get out of the building. For real, we are the roach and the rats that they get out of the building. Yeah, you know, because they tell us that and they run us. Now we gonna come up on the job, so we are the roach.
So why did you come to work this morning?
To find out what's really going on. You know, people gotta get paid now. You know, that's what I just talking about the money. People gotta get paid.
Unlike Bahamar employees who received letters yesterday informing them of Bahamar's bankruptcy filing, CCA workers say they were sent home around noon on Monday and were turned away when they showed up on the job this morning seeking answers.
People just confused. They want to find out what's going on or when things get back to normal.
So it's not only the Chinese that were locked up, the Bahamians were locked up as well.
Every single employee.
As they say, we are the road and ratchets that they say they are fumigating the place, and now we are not there now.
So how did you feel like you come to work and then they telling you, oh, you can't get in?
And it sounded like a sight from yesterday because we wake up at lunchtime, right? And then they say, hey, y'all come to the building. If we get fumigate, then we come back after lunch. We trying to figure out why they ain't fumigate Saturday and Sunday. Why wait till Monday morning? So it didn't sound right. And now, by the newspaper this morning, Bahamar bankrupt.
As workers sat outside the property today, Bahamar released a statement announcing Bahamar Limited today commenced a claim in the English High Court against defendant China State Construction Engineering Corporation Limited, the parent of China Construction America. The claim asserts that, among other things, the defendant is liable in respect, guarantee, and performance obligations related to the construction of the project, and that Bahamar Limited is entitled to and claims against the defendant a variety of financial remedies. In a letter to the Bahamas government dated June 29th, Bahamar CEO Sarkis Merlian said, the numerous delays in the completion and opening of Bahamar caused by the general contractor's inability to complete construction on schedule have frustrated all of us. Please know that I am committed to doing all I realistically can to complete construction and successfully open Bahamar. Merlian informed government officials of the developer's plans to file an application in the Supreme Court here in the Bahamas seeking approval of U.S. court orders. He added in his letter, the substantial delay costs caused by the general contractor's failures and the meaningful loss of business at Bahamar due to the postponed opening now make the Chapter 11 process the best path for Bahamar to complete construction and open the resort with a sound financial structure. He called the many delays embarrassing. Workers compared the situation to being hit by a moving car. They say they have no choice but to go and look for work.
That's a slap in your head without you seeing. That's like a moving car. You walk across when you just get picked up. When you open your eyes, you hospital head on the head.
You ain't look for work.
You gotta look for work or later on
You
start
ain't
a
all
riot.
on this, you began on?
You mean start a riot?
Go down Bay Street and tell Barry get it right.
So that's what you'll do if you don't get resolution here.
I mean, true, I've been honest. Time what I can do, I've been honest. That's, as I said earlier, if they don't get it right, you all can see what's going on. This is a revolution ready start, you know. Many people who have bread in their fridge and their cupboard. You see what's going on. This was the last straw right now for people. Bahamar was the last straw for people to get job right now. This is the last straw what people's depending on right now. So this soon open and get ready right now. Now so going on the drain. You have children just coming to school, What about the children who've been to school the year before? And all the people who are left for Lannis and sign contract to come to work Bahamar.
However, Smith suggested that if thousands of Bahamar workers lose their jobs, it will not end well. Bahamar CEO stressed in his letter to government that the process they are now embarking on is a path and not a destination, as the developer works to achieve its goal of completing construction and opening the multi-billion-dollar resort. Reporting from Bahamar for NB12, I'm Vonik Toot.
The Free National Movement today voiced its alarm over what it called the unraveling of the Bahamar project. At a press conference this morning, opposition leader Dr. Hubert Minnis said it's time for the Prime Minister to tell the Bahamian people the exact circumstances surrounding Bahamar. Dana Smith reports.
Minnis said the Bahamar project is unraveling before our eyes, and the Christie administration appears clueless and caught in the dark by the bankruptcy announcement. He also voiced concerns about the thousands of jobs at the resort and called on the Prime Minister to come clean about what's really going on at Bahamar.
Many in the public, looking at the site from the outside, had their doubts. But some trusted that the Prime Minister, who was on the inside, must know more. And they accepted that if Mr. Christie said it was all well, it must be so. Well, Mr. Christie either did not know or understand, or he chose to mislead.
Minnis said the Prime Minister has for weeks now repeatedly assured the public that a resolution to the problems at Bahamar were imminent, and he was excitedly awaiting and expecting good news. But Minnis said it's now clear Christie either did not understand what was going on or he chose to mislead the public.
As is now abundantly clear, none of Mr. Christie's announcements of resolution and good news were based on believable facts. It is now time for Mr. Christie to come clean with the Bahamian people, and on behalf of the Bahamian people, I demand that he tell us the truth.
After outlining the various statements Christie made about Bahamar that suggested he was optimistic, Minnis said Christie must now state factually and succinctly the exact circumstances governing developments at the multi-billion-dollar project.
The FNM is alarmed that the project agreement originally negotiated by the Christie and rescued from disarray by the last FNM government is now unraveling before our eyes. Prime Minister Perry Christie and his government appear clueless as to their next move. They were caught flat-footed and in the dark yesterday when news of Bahamar's bankruptcy filing broke in the news media. Why?
With Bahamar employees locked out the property and asked to stay home, Minnis added his party is concerned that jobs may be in jeopardy.
The FNM is deeply concerned with developments at Bahamar. We are especially concerned for the 2,000 plus employees of the resort whose continued employment is in jeopardy. As we are concerned for all the Bahamian contractors engaged by the developers who have no idea when Bahamar will be in a position to make good on monies owed to them for work completed and continuing up to a few days ago.
Bahamar has said workers are still being paid and no one has been fired, but if the matter is not resolved over the next few weeks, the development would have to make some extremely difficult decisions, like job cuts. Reporting for NB12, I'm Dana Smith.
Well, Democratic National Alliance Deputy Leader Chris Mortimer today also blasting the government over Bahamar's bankruptcy filing, suggesting the government kept information from the Bahamian people for weeks, and the Prime Minister saw this coming a long time ago. Simone Davis has that.
The DNA deputy leader said this incident will cause thousands of Bahamians to head to the unemployment line. He also said as of yesterday, he feels that the reputation of the Bahamas is officially ruined.
We're going to have thousands of Bahamians headed to the unemployment lines. And as I said earlier, millions of dollars invested. And yet, this government wants this issue not to be a political one. Are these guys serious? This is a political issue. Inept politicians brought us here.
Earlier this month, Prime Minister Christie announced in the House of Assembly that he had good news as it relates to the Bahamar project. He also revealed that he kept close communication with Bahamar CEO Sarkis Ismailian, and their many meetings about the project have been positive. However, Christie has yet to reveal the good news and what transpired in those meetings, despite the media's numerous attempts to find out what was going on with Bahamar. Mortimer suggested that Christie knew all along that Bahamar was headed for bankruptcy, but told the Bahamian people something else, giving them false hope that the mega resort was moving forward when it was not.
I want to let them know. You know, bankruptcies do not happen overnight. Bahamar had filed Chapter 11 bankruptcy on more than 10 individual Bahamar companies. Full website dealing with the way forward.
The deputy leader said as a result of this, the Bahamas would now be known as the bankrupt country, which will negatively impact tourism and scare off foreign investors. He said the reputation of the Bahamas was already going downhill before this, and now the country has fallen to the bottom.
Have they seen the headlines? Look at this. Bahamar files for bankruptcy. You know what's even worse? We are a country that is bankrupt. Bankrupt country, bankrupt project, and a government bankrupt of ideas of how to make this nation move ahead. That is what we have. 2015 15 governments in this country.
News of Bahamar filing bankruptcy hit local and international media outlets, including Bloomberg, The Wall Street Journal, the Miami Herald, Travel Weekly, and more. Mortimer said it's a crying shame on the Bahamas, and the message being sent around the globe is defeating for the country. Reporting for NB12, I'm Simone Davis.